All eyes are on Donald Trump as he picks his cabinet members, which makes many people wonder, will he actually make America great again, or will he sell out to the lobbyist, corporate, globalist, CFR scum, establishment, neoconservative fucktard, excuse my French, that destroyed this country from the very beginning? This is a very serious decision that he is making right now that will ultimately tell you what kind of president he will be. Ron Paul even came out, former Republican congressman, a populist, said this.
President, we look at what he said, we look at what he might do, and we look at his advisors, but quite frankly, there's an outside source which we refer to as a deep state or a shadow government. There's a lot of influence by people that are actually more powerful than our government itself, our president, and all that. I mean, you take, for instance, how our government gets involved in elections around the world. Yep. You know, whether it's in the Middle East or Ukraine, we've been very much involved, and we've done this for more than 50 years. And so that isn't known to the public. Matter of fact, all we do is see the downside decades later where there may be some blowback. So we can't know exactly that. So yes, Trump is his own guy more so than most of have ever been in before. Yep. We hope he can maintain an independence and then go in the right direction. But I fear the fact that there's so much that can be done secretly, out of control of our apparent government and out of the view of so many citizens.
And those concerns are, of course, very warranted, with Donald Trump pushing around the name of John Bolton as a possible cabinet member in his presidency. Now, John Bolton, the man who was spearheading the neoconservative doctrine, a part of the Project for a New American Century, which pushed the Bush doctrine, started the U.S.-Iraq war, pretty much destroyed American foreign policy, is going to be inside of Donald Trump's cabinet, potentially. And if that didn't make the situation worse, he just held a meeting with the globalist kingpin himself, Henry frickin' Kissinger. I mean, if you don't know about how horrible Henry Kissinger is, just type in WeAreChange and Henry Kissinger. You can see us confronting him a number of times. And many people were pointing out to the fact that his transition team is a part of people from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Verizon. But with all of this negative blowback, with all of this speculation happening right now, Donald Trump has actually made a move for the positive, and he has actually cut all lobbyists from his transition team. And I think one of the major, most important moves that he just made, a part of his cabinet, is appointing Michael Flynn as the new security advisor, a part of his cabinet. He is a retired Army lieutenant general who worked under Barack Obama. He once called for Hillary Clinton to be in prison and said Barack Obama was a liar with no plan for defeating ISIS. This appointment is one of the most important appointments that will finally, I believe, usher in a better U.S. foreign policy that is not geared towards world war with Russia. And this is, I think, one of the greatest accomplishments, one of the greatest things why people are cheering on Donald Trump, is because if it was Hillary Clinton, it was going to be World War III. Many U.S. generals said that. Many people inside of Russia said that were very close to Putin. But Michael Flynn, he has called for the end of Russia and U.S., the bullying games that are happening between each other, and wants them to work together more cohesively to defeat ISIS inside of Syria. He warned the Obama administration of toppling Bashar al-Assad inside of Syria. And of course, he was warranted because there was a secret Pentagon report that was leaked that revealed that the U.S. actually created ISIS as a tool to overthrow Bashar al-Assad, which we knew it was mainly Barack Obama's and Hillary Clinton's foreign policy to get rid of Bashar al-Assad, just like they got rid of Muammar Gaddafi inside of Syria and made Libya a hotbed for radical Islamic terrorists. And again, Michael Flynn went on the record before this announcement and said that Obama ignored ISIS intelligence to fit election narrative. He said that Washington was willingly allowing ISIS to rise. He said that not only was Obama lying about ISIS, but ultimately that it was Barack Obama's decisions that created ISIS. A huge truth that was spoken to the world because of Michael Flynn, who was working with the Obama administration, who whistleblowed on the most egregious, most disastrous foreign U.S. policy, and that was trying to get rid of Bashar al-Assad while getting rid of Muammar Gaddafi inside of Libya, creating ethnic division, destabilization inside of the Middle East, conditions that of course rose radical Islamic terrorists to the prominence that it is now and their power that there is now. Now, because of Trump's election, Bashar al-Assad actually reached out to Donald Trump and said he is willing to cooperate and work with him. So did Putin, and Putin is actually launching airstrikes as we speak, pounding Syrian positions to get rid of the rebel groups that are trying to topple Bashar al-Assad. Now, of course, with all of this, the major European countries and Britain are in crisis, desperately trying to sway Trump from forming an alliance with Vladimir Putin in order to defeat ISIS. With Trump's new administration, a lot of NATO states and European states are concerned because Trump has publicly said that NATO would have to rely on its own financing of their own defense force, and that they themselves will have to foot the bill. With this major decision, with Michael Flynn now inside of Donald Trump's cabinet, we could be assured that there will be more cooperation globally in actually defeating ISIS and not helping them rise, which you would think would be major headline mainstream media news. That it's not. Oh yeah, also in other news, Ben Carson turned down the role in Trump's cabinet because he said he, quote, had no government experience. But then, hold on, why the hell, Ben Carson, were you trying to be president of the United States in the first place? You make no sense at all. Now, with this news happening, we're finally getting a breath of fresh air. What will happen in the future, especially after this Henry Kissinger meeting, we do not know, but so far, his cabinet points have been very well received in the global community. We will keep you up to date on this YouTube channel, so subscribe and support us on patreon.com/WeAreChange, because we are independent, unfiltered, unbiased news reporting for you, because we are supported ultimately by you. Subscribe. We're going to have a lot more news on Donald Trump's cabinet positions, what's going to happen next in the future, and if he messes up, and if he gets globalist and lobbyist and CFR scum in there, we're going to call it out also on WeAreChange.org. Check out that website for all the latest news coming here your way, for you, by you. Thank you again so much for watching. Subscribe.